So, just to begin with, how are you guys all feeling about the quiz? Do you guys have any like specific concepts you guys are worried about, like dimensional analysis? I know she didn't really go over that much. Do you guys need help with that as well? Okay, so right now I actually can't go over that because it's too much in one time. But I'm gonna try to send out like helpful notes, conversion sheets, things like that. And I'm just wondering how you guys are feeling today. Like, is everyone okay? Is everyone nervous or anything? Okay, conversion of moles and all those things. Okay, well then, I'm gonna try to send out something, see what I can do for you guys. Does that sound okay? Okay, so next slide. Okay, so we have SI base units, all this stuff. So the only thing that I won't be going over is dimensional analysis because it's just so complex and it's so much I can't do it within 1 hour. But everything else I'm gonna try to go through today. And the only thing else is history of an atom. I'm pretty sure she said it won't be on the quiz, so I'm not gonna go over that. But everything else, like the SI, base units, sig figs, isotopes, ions, atomic notation, I'm gonna go over all of that today and try to get through as much as I can. Yeah, and then history of an atom is on the quiz, yeah. So I didn't do that. But I think tomorrow's essay session, I'm gonna go over it just because it will be on your test probably. And it's pretty easy because it's just straight up memorization. So our main objectives is just these three because it's pretty simple, pretty easy, and it's good to know for like all throughout chemistry. You're probably gonna need like sig figs and like lab and all this other stuff like calculus and stuff. So let's just start off. Let's just go. Okay. This is electrons, neutrons, and protons. Are these? No, I can't. I'm actually not allowed to record them because then she think like my professor and like everyone in the SI program believes that if you keep recording them, then no one shows up because everyone's just gonna watch the recordings. But I'll try to send out this PowerPoint if you guys want me to. So for the electrons, neutrons, protons, you guys can just start filling out this like what you guys think the answer is, and it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. It's just again memorization. It's just good to know. And then atomic notation as well. So, for electron, what do you guys think the charge would be? Negative? Okay, what is everyone else negative as well? And can someone tell me why you think it's negative? Like, what's the location of it that will cause it to be negative? Does anyone remember, like, in the atom, where's the electron located? Outside. Yes, it's outside the nucleus. So that's O. What about the mass? Do you guys remember what the mass is? Exactly. 0 as well. Okay. And then what's this? Oh, we all know the symbol for that. It's pretty much just E. All the different types of unit conversion from the quiz. If you're talking about SI base units, I think it's good to just know it just in case. But I'm not completely sure. But again, I'll just study because you're gonna need it for the test at some point anyway. And then protons. You guys know the charge of that. What's the charge of a proton? Yeah. Good. Okay, and where is it located? Inside, yes. So I'm just gonna put I for that. Okay, what about the mass? Does anyone remember the mass? 1, yes. You guys can feel free to like draw on it as well. Like, you guys know it. You don't have to type in the chat. You guys can just write on there. Proton, you guys already know it's just a P. Same thing, like you guys know that. A charge of a neutron. Like, where is it located? Like, what would give it the charge? Neutral. Okay, and what's the symbol for that? Like, what would we use to show that it is neutral, like the charge on it? Yeah, it's that 0 with the little slash in between. And where is it located? Inside. Yes, it's inside. And then the mass? Does anyone know where? Yes, it's also 1. Very good. Okay, so we know that. That's pretty easy. And then atomic notation. She just went over this pretty briefly. It's just memorization. Does anyone know what goes on the top? What starts up at the very top? The mass. Yes, the mass of what though? The mass of what? Like in a full like description, like a mass, atomic mass. Yes, atomic mass. Very good. I'm just gonna put a M so it's a little easier, but we should get that. The X is just supposed to be the element. Now what goes on the bottom of it? It's pretty easy too. Yes, right. It's the atomic number. Okay. That's just simple, like really fast memorization on just this part. So you guys can go over like that part of, the study guide that you just gave out and whatnot. Okay, so since you guys know that already, it's pretty easy. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next slide, which is warm-up questions. Convert 13 nanometers to how many meters would that be? And for that, you're gonna have to know the SI prefixes and what nanometers is to begin with to convert it to the meter section. And then which SI base unit is involved in finding density. This, you would just need to know the density equation, like the formula for it, and you'd be able to find exactly what SI base unit is involved with it. So, can someone tell me how do you convert 13 nanometers? Like, what's the conversion for that? Does anyone know? Yes, that's the density one, correct. But what's the SI base unit involved with it? And then for 13 nanometers, do you guys remember what they're, like, nanometers, what is that? That's 10 to the what? Yes, that's correct. Using since you guys can see in the chat, it's like the nanometer section, that is 10 to the negative 9th, right? Yes. So how would you convert 13 nanometers of that into just regular meters? Like, what would you have to do? It's pretty simple, actually. It sounds really hard, but it's not. Divide. Okay, why do you guys say divide? Like, what made you guys think, oh, you should divide this? Smaller. Okay, 13 nanometers. So you have 13 nanometers, and it's 10 to the negative 9. Actually, you're going to multiply, because you have nanometers. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay you guys get it wrong, because you guys can just practice. Yeah, I understand, like, converting is probably the hardest part of your quiz, probably. But it's just that, and then you're going to multiply it. So they're pretty far apart, but you're just multiplying those two together, really. And once you multiply it, what do you guys get? You can just plug into like your calculator. It should do the work pretty simply for you. And then for the SI base unit involved in finding density, I see that is the equation for it. But now that you found that, what SI base unit is involved with that? So you have density base unit. I'm looking for exactly like the name. You have length, volume, things like that. Like, what is it that's involved specifically with density? This is also a practice question I had for my practice test when I took Chem 1211. So I think this is a really good question involving like the SI units. Like, what do you guys think that is? Any wrong answers are fine as well. You guys don't have to get it right. I'm not gonna like yell at you guys get it wrong. Okay, think of just like the length, volume, like mole, like that. Not like. Okay, I'm just gonna say it because you guys are like not getting exactly what I'm trying to say. Wait, can someone first tell me when you guys converted it, what'd you guys get? The 13? Yeah, like length with no. Like volume, like the 7, like the moles, volume, things like that. Yes, Eden, you're right. That's 1.3 times 10 to the negative 8th. And I'm just gonna tell you guys the other one because I think you guys are just too confused. But it's pretty much mass. It's just mass. Mass is involved with density. That's why it's like I said the formula, it's mass over volume. So you have like a 50-50 chance. It's just mass, pretty much. It's more commonly associated, I would say, with like the density part. So the SI base unit would be the mass. So we have any questions on that? Like, are any of you guys confused? Are you guys good to go? So this. Yes. You have a question about the first? Yes, you're right. That was right. Yeah, you're good. Eden, you got it right. Yeah. Okay, and I hope everyone else got that right as well. Like, if you have any questions, like you don't know it, or don't be shy to like say something, speak up. It's completely fine. I'm not gonna, again, like this is just